Fans of mixed martial arts, MMA, watch for knockouts and submissions, not for humor. However, every now and then there is a slip of the tongue or an outlandish occurrence that has people bursting out into uncontrollable laughter. With that said, let's talk about the funniest MMA moments of all time. Sean O'Connell, funny weigh-in. Sean O'Connell had a brief UFC career, but his amusing weigh-in antics have left a lasting impression on fight fans. At the weigh-in ceremony, he employed a variety of strategies to entertain supporters and make the stare-down less stressful, including playing rock, paper, scissors, giving his opponent flowers, and blowing bubbles. O'Connell concluded his UFC career with a 2-5 record, but his engaging, witty, and personal demeanor earned him many fans. Mike Perry's questionable attire. Mike Perry is, to put it bluntly, an anomaly. Due to his combative nature, weigh-in antics, and humorous social media presence, the former UFC welterweight contender who took part in many memorable UFC bouts during his stint with the organization is one of the more entertaining personalities in combat sports. One of his stints is shown in a video showing Perry costumed as a Native American hunting cowboy in preparation for his welterweight match with Donald Cerrone, which is one of the most famous Perry moments. Perry is now reported to be participating in the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship after being released from the UFC. Forrest Griffin runs out of the octagon after being KO'd. Forrest Griffin will go down in history as one of the most popular mixed martial artists of all time. The Ohio native is most remembered for his iconic fight with Stephan Bonnar, which launched the UFC into the spotlight. He has a humorous, upbeat, and pleasant demeanor, which was unusual in a mixed martial art at the time. When Griffin saw the footage of his fight with Anderson Silva, which ended in a non-competitive landslide victory for the Brazilian and an embarrassing loss for Griffin, it was one of the funniest moments in MMA history. Despite this, he viewed the video and commented on how bad he did, demonstrating his usually upbeat, witty, and kind personality. Forrest Griffin was expected to be one of Anderson Silva's hardest fights in the UFC and a considerable step up in competition from Silva's last opponent, James Irvin. However, Silva easily dispatched the former Ultimate Fighter winner, leading Griffin to get up after being KO'd and fleeing the octagon. Nate Diaz's hilarious way of asserting dominance. Nate Diaz is amusing, but not in the sense that most people would find amusing. After an unexpected submission victory over the outspoken Conor McGregor in 2016, the Stockton native became one of the most popular competitors in modern mixed martial arts. He's also noted for his indifferent, distant, and confident demeanor, which he has carried into the octagon throughout his MMA career. Following his victory against McGregor, Diaz gave Joe Rogan one of the most memorable interviews of the decade, saying, "I ain't surprised," coupled with another line that will not be repeated. Diaz, flexing his biceps and flipping off Donald Cerrone as the third round of the fight was about to begin, are just a handful of the occasions that have earned him the label of a troll. Michael Bisping, the funny foul mouth. The insult king. Michael Bisping is one of the most foul-mouthed and hilarious competitors in MMA history. The Count is known for his strong trash talk, which usually culminates in a memorable statement. When the Englishman gets near a microphone, there's a decent chance he'll say something amusing but insightful. When Luke Rockhold began preaching about self-belief and how it empowers you during the UFC 199 press conference, it was one of Bisping's funniest moments. In true Bisping flair, he interrupted Rockhold and instructed him to shut up and quit reading self-help books. He would go on to defeat Rockhold the next day and capture the UFC middleweight championship via first-round knockout. Derek Lewis is shamelessly funny. It's tough to determine if Derek Lewis is trying to be amusing or is simply a dork. Due to his casual nature, post-fight interviews, and tremendous knockout power, the Houston native is one of the most popular fighters in modern mixed martial arts. Lewis has given a number of famous post-fight interviews in which both the audience and Joe Rogan couldn't stop laughing. None, however, compares to the moment when Lewis removed his trousers in the middle of the octagon because his private parts were hot. Conor McGregor is by far the funniest. It's difficult not to acknowledge Conor McGregor after all the memories he was left in the MMA world. Sonen's theatrics were taken to a new level by McGregor, who gave fans some of the most unforgettable words in combat sports history. Due to his colorful, lively, and boisterous attitude, McGregor is exceptionally smooth on the microphone and can quickly get into his opponent's minds with his remarks. Press conference discussion between him and Jeremy Stephens, pure comic gold, with Stephens declaring himself a worthy opponent, eager to take on the Irish fighter. McGregor responded in his iconic and unforgettable Irish accent accent, saying, "Who the heck is that guy?" As McGregor smiled triumphantly, the audience erupted in laughter. It's unlikely that the MMA world will ever see another superstar with the same amount of popularity as the former double champion. Keith Haring gets kissed, delivers a KO. On New Year's Eve 2005 at K1's Dynamite program, another famous MMA occurrence occurred. Keith Haring was supposed to battle Yoshihiro Nakao, but during the pre-fight stare-down, Nakao kissed the Texas Crazy Horse on the lips, freaking him out and knocking him out before the fight even began. Matt Riddle's prank on Rampage Jackson. Matt Riddle may be the funniest fighter to ever participate in The Ultimate Fighter. He constantly has a smile on his face and pulls off some absurd pranks, such as smearing shaving cream on a sleeping Rampage Jackson's head. But it was when he shattered eggs all over Jeremy May's bed that caused May to ask around the whole house so he could find out who did that to him. While a drunken Riddle follows May around and offers him advice. The footage, of course, has nothing to do with MMA, but it does demonstrate Riddle's sense of humor. Mark Coleman celebrates a bit too hard. When Mark Coleman won the 2000 Pride Grand Prix, he went insane and began rushing around the ring like a lunatic. However, a blunder in attempting to jump onto the ropes resulted in his landing flat on his back in a humorous scene. Almost every fighter on this list is or has been an excellent fighter, which adds to the richness of the unintentional humor. With that level comes a certain, shall we say, single-mindedness, which can frequently impede progress in other areas. Conor McGregor being mocked by Bilal Muhammad. In a fantastic troll job, UFC welterweight challenger Bilal Muhammad parodied promotional superstar Conor McGregor, stating, "Cue that Conor tweet." During a UFC Fight Night event, McGregor slammed Muhammad and another UFC fighter, Anthony Smith, for their post-fight commentary. Muhammad was clearly annoyed that McGregor had made disparaging remarks about him, and he awaited the ideal time to retaliate and get the final laugh on someone who had ridiculed him. Muhammad mocked McGregor on social media after UFC Vegas 43, which featured a lackluster main event between Miesha Tate and Ketlin Vieira. He uploaded a tweet that appeared to come from McGregor, who frequently talks about his previous battles with Poirier on social media, especially when other fighters are present. Derek Brunson ridicules Paulo Costa on Twitter. Derek Brunson fired back at Paulo Costa on Twitter, stating, "You don't kick a man down when he's down," and asking what the etiquette is when a man is eating. He went on to rename Paulo Costa to Paulo Pasta, insinuating that he needed to go on a treadmill to lose weight. Costa was plainly alluding to Costa's previous bout in which he lost to Marvin Vettori. In an interview shortly before the fight week began, Costa stated that he would not be able to make the planned weight of 185, so he wanted to negotiate a catch weight of 195 pounds, which Vettori agreed to, but it was too late because Costa's camp announced that they intended to renegotiate the fight at 205 pounds, the new weight for the UFC's light heavyweight division. Conor McGregor trolls Max Holloway. Conor McGregor used the chance just hours before Max Holloway's main event bout with Yair Rodriguez on Saturday to fire a mocking blow at his old opponent. McGregor used Twitter before Holloway and Rodriguez's UFC Vegas 42 main event to take a crack at the former 145-pound champion. On Twitter, McGregor seemed to compliment Holloway's talent before going on to offer some of his own comments on Holloway, this time criticizing his fighting abilities. On the day of the bout, he comically tweeted that he couldn't wait to see the boxer who has taken the most head strikes. He continued by tweeting, "Best boxer, my ass crack." The two originally met 8 years ago at UFC Fight Night 26. McGregor won the undisputed featherweight title against Jose Aldo in surprising fashion through a unanimous decision in their August 2013 showdown. That's it for today. Which of the trolls mentioned did you like the best? Let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for sticking around till the end of the video. If you like watching our content, please leave a like, share, and subscribe to our channel.